Señores, soy Alex para Gallito y en esta ocasión tenemos un invitado de lujo, el número uno rankeado según Typology en las 145 libras, el señor Andres Quintana, el favorito para ganar la Copa Combate, el representante de los Estados Unidos. We have a very special guest, Mr. Andres Quintana, the representative of the United States in Copa Combate. How are you doing, Andres?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. So, well, there is just a few weeks to the fight. How is your preparation going to this point?
Everything's going great. I train hard all the time for any fight, so training hasn't changed too much. I mean, it's going to be less than five-minute rounds if I fight all three fights with the total amount of time if I don't finish anyone. So, I mean, I'm more than ready.
Excellent. Are you ready to fight 6 rounds if the case is like that?
Yeah, the reason why is they're a lot shorter. The first fight's only 1 round, 5 minutes, and then the next 2 fights are 3 threes. So 3-minute rounds aren't too long for me, and I'll be more than prepared, and I'll have a break in between each fight, so it's fine.
Excellent. So we already talked with Seven Sui and with Marlon, who are the representatives of Peru and Spain, and they look very comfortable with these fights. Have you studied already your opponents?
Somewhat. My coaches do more of the studying than anything, so they tell me I don't have too much to be worried about. There are some things that we will prepare for. There are some certain guys that are better than others, so about two out of the other 7 are pretty good. So that's more who we're focused on instead of everyone else.
Yes, of course. Then Combate America is selling this even like these guys are like the top 145 pounds of the country. Do you think that is correct, or they're just like fighters, or just like simple fighters, not some very tough?
They're honestly they're probably the best of their country, but their countries are really small, especially compared to the United States, and they're really unevolved in MMA compared to the United States. United States is where everyone comes to train. Alejandro trains in the USA, Gaston Reino trains in the USA, and that's all for a reason, so.
Yes, of course. Let me see. So, Mr. Quintana, supposing that for any reason you will not be able to fight at December 7, who do you think has more chances to win that night?
Besides myself, obviously, I would say Alejandro or the guy from, where is he from? I'm not even sure. The one that fought in Bellator, the
Chile.
55er.
Pablo Yaseca.
Yeah, he's from Chile. Yeah. Those are probably the 2 toughest guys, honestly, in the division, besides myself. If for some reason I'm not able to fight one of those guys should be able to win the tournament. Alejandro's tough, but he's a little undersized, and the guy from Chile, he's got some pretty good tools, but he's a little bit small. He's kind of short, and he probably has the most experience out of everyone else there.
Andres, there is a lot of hype, at least here in Mexico, about you fighting against Alejandro. It's like a dream match for some people. Actually, we talked with him today in the morning. So what do you think about it? Would you like to face him?
Yeah, I'm sure Alejandro's tough and all, but I'm not too worried about him. If you guys don't know, I used to train with him a little bit in the past. We didn't train together too long, but I got enough rounds in to get a feel for him, to see how his skills like compared to mine, and I feel like there's a lot of holes in his game, even though it's been a couple of years, but kind of hard to fix some of those holes in such a short amount of time, especially against someone of my caliber, especially how much I've evolved since then. Sorry Mexico, but I'm gonna break you guys' heart. I'm gonna take out Alejandro if we do and end up meeting in the finals or anywhere along the line.
Do you think that is the more probable final of the tournament, you against Alejandro?
I think so, yeah. I'm number 1, he's number 2, and I'm number 1 for a reason, and I'll probably be the number 1 seed and he'll be the number 2 seed. So if everything goes according to plan, I will be in the finals, and he should be in the finals as well.
Yeah, of course. Now, really, a lot of people ask me to talk with you about this. What can you tell us about your Latin heritage?
My father, he was born in Mexico, and I'm not too close with my father. I don't talk to him. he was really abusive when I was younger, and so I never really grew up knowing Spanish because my mom doesn't know Spanish. My grandma, she is Hispanic as well. So I mean, it's not like I'm some white kid off the block.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I am Mexican. I am full blood Mexican and Hispanic as well. So I mean, I'm no different than anyone else. I just didn't grow up in a Spanish speaking home. But other than that, I'm just like you guys.
Now, where does the bullet nickname comes from? Also, a lot of people ask us about to talk with you about it.
So my nickname came from just like anyone's nickname it got handed down to him. I used to train with a guy named Richard at my old boxing coach's gym in Roswell, New Mexico. I used to train with him, and one day he's like, "Hey, you don't got a nickname." And I was pretty young. I was like 12 years old. So we gotta figure out a nickname for you. And he just thought, and one day he comes to the gym. He's like, "Hey, I got a perfect nickname for you. It's gonna be La Bala," and it was in Spanish.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was gonna go get my shorts printed, and we told the guy, what it is. We're all put on La Bala on my shorts in the back, and it was supposed to be in Spanish. And for some reason, whatever reason, he put it the bullet, and it just stuck ever since.
Yeah. So your nickname in a certain way was originally like a Hispanic word, right?
Yes, it was. Yes.
That's great. Also, now assuming that you win the tournament in an awesome way, would you like to continue in Combate Americas, or would you like to, I don't know, look for new horizons?
Well, right now I am signed to Combate Americas exclusively. I am signed for about another year. So I'm gonna win the tournament. I'm gonna defend my title, and we'll see from there. Depending what they offer. I'm a prize fighter, and that's what I do this for. For the money. This is my full-time job, and depending on what they offer me, we'll see. It's up to my manager. He's the one that makes those big decisions for me, and of course I have a say, but money talks.
Yes, of course. Now, well, Tipoli says that you are the best 145 pounds in Latin America and one of the best in the United States, and we don't have questions about it. But do you think beating the top guys in UFC or Bellator are that guys?
Yeah, I believe I can compete with anyone in the world right now. I'm in my prime. I feel like I'm well-rounded. I feel like I could do anything. I feel like my striking is world-class, and I have an answer for anywhere they take me. Like this last guy that wanted to fight me, or that I did fight, Eric Ghost Pepper, he kind of wanted to test my hands a little bit. I feel like he got a little bit scared, so he tried to take me down. So I defended the takedown beautifully. I showed him I'm a superior grappler, and I have an answer for anyone.
Yes, of course. Now, a more off-topic question, but I don't know, but the people also ask us about talk with this topic with you. Today, Jay Rodriguez is back against the Korean Zombie. That's your category, 145 pounds. What's your prediction about that fight?
I have a little bit of insight. I won't share it with anybody. It's a little personal, but from what I know, I'm going to be picking Korean Zombie. Not because, yeah, I do. I pick Korean Zombie.
Great.
But the fight's about to happen here pretty soon. Probably like in an hour or so. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Actually, the Jermaine and Raquel are fighting right now, I think.
Yep, that just finished.
Oh, okay. Now, UFC 231, Brian Ortega against Max Holloway. What do you think about that fight? Who wins?
Ooh, that's a super good fight, and it's at my weight class as well.
Yeah.
I've counted both of them out different occasions, and they always prove me wrong. So I don't think I'm gonna pick anyone on this one, but it should be a great fight.
Yes, of course. Actually, I talked with Alejandro about this, and he shared with us that he thinks Brian Ortega is like a more he has more skills, but at the same time, Max Holloway is probably the most technical fighter right now. So,
yeah. Holloway's striking is really good, and I'm sure Ortega probably has the advantage in grappling. So whoever comes out and whoever is able to put their game plan on them.
So who of that ones would you like to face, Brian Ortega or Max Holloway?
Um, when I was younger, I was in talks with UFC, and I kind of wanted to fight Holloway at that time and point. And yeah, of course I would want to fight Holloway because he's champ, and that's where the payday's at.
That will be an awesome fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, finally, the million question, la pregunta del millón. Do you see yourself as a world champion?
Of course, always. I picture myself every day as a world champ, and I'm not in the sport to be second. As you can tell, as in my rankings in Latin America and all of Mexico, I'm number one, and I should be considered world champ as it is.
Yes, of course. Finally, you on social media to us to follow you, and a couple of words. If you can say something in Spanish, it will be great to all the Latin crowd, and invite them to see you at December 7th in Fresno.
Okay, all of my Instagram, my Twitter is Bullet Quintana. Go check me out, go follow me, and I'll keep you guys up to date with all my fight news, all my training. So you guys have fun, and